General Orn's expression was grim. How long until they reach Sol's system? 2 months, maybe less, Jin replied. Colonel Han stood up. We need to prepare Earth's defenses immediately, and we need more ships. Earth has limited defensive capabilities, pointed out a council strategist. Then we'll improvise, Han said firmly. That's what humans do best. As the meeting ended, Admiral Jin pulled Han aside. The council is sending everything they can spare, but it won't be enough. Han nodded. I know, but humans have faced impossible odds before. Never like this, Jin replied quietly. True, Han admitted, but the Void doesn't understand us. They've never faced anything like humans before. That might be our greatest advantage. Across council space, ships changed course for Earth. Scientists worked day and night on new weapons, and on Earth itself, nations that had fought each other for centuries now united against a common threat. The greatest battle in human history was coming. Earth's survival, and perhaps the galaxy's, hung in the balance. 6 months after first contact, humans had spread throughout the Council fleet. No longer just advisors, they now served as officers and specialists on nearly every major warship. Their fresh thinking had changed how the Council fought. Engineer Quan stood in a massive laboratory on the Council Science Station, Enlightenment. Around him, alien scientists watched as he connected Earth metals to Council energy systems in ways they had never considered. This shouldn't work, muttered one Council engineer, his blue tentacles waving in agitation. Quan smiled. But it does. He activated the shield prototype. It glowed brightly, absorbing the test energy beams fired at it. The shield's strength is double previous models, reported a technician. How did you know this combination would succeed? I didn't, Quan admitted. But on Earth, we learned that sometimes you must try what seems impossible. In another part of the station, Professor Hyun addressed a group of council scholars. They had gathered to understand human behavior better. Humans have fought each other throughout our history, Hyun explained, showing images of Earth's many wars. We developed countless strategies to survive ourselves. The aliens watched in shock as the presentation showed how quickly human warfare had evolved, from simple spears to nuclear weapons in just a few thousand years. Your species spent most of its history trying to destroy itself, asked one scholar, horrified. Yes, Hyun said simply. And in doing so, we learned to adapt faster than any other species. It's not something we're proud of, but it's why we can help against the Void. At Council military academies throughout the galaxy, human instructors taught new battle tactics. Young alien officers learned about ambushes, feints, and psychological warfare for the first time. Perfect formations make you predictable, explained Captain Tai to his class. Sometimes, apparent disorder is your greatest strength. The Void continued to lose battles as Council forces adopted human strategies. Ships now moved in seemingly random patterns, weapons fired at unexpected moments. Supply lines shifted constantly. At Central Command, Admiral Jin received an urgent message. The room fell silent as she studied the report. They've changed course, she announced, her voice tense. A massive Void fleet has abandoned its attack on the Proxima system. She touched the holographic display, showing the new trajectory. Everyone could see where the red line ended, at a small yellow star. They're heading directly for Earth, Jin said. They've identified where we came from. The news reached Earth within hours. Emergency meetings convened as leaders faced the terrifying truth. The most powerful enemy in the galaxy now targeted their planet. President Day addressed a joint session of the United Nations. We have 6 weeks before they arrive, she said, her voice steady despite her fear. The Council is sending ships, but not enough to stop the Void fleet. We must prepare our own defenses. Earth mobilized as never before in history. Council technology, combined with human ingenuity, transformed the planet's defenses. Orbital platforms appeared around Earth. Asteroid bases provided outer defense lines. Even civilian ships were fitted with basic weapons. Engineer Quan returned to Earth to oversee the shield installations. Working day and night, teams covered major cities with protective fields. "Will this be enough?" asked a young assistant as they watched the shield dome form over Seoul. "No," Quan answered honestly, "but it will give people time to reach the underground shelters." As the Void Fleet approached the edge of the solar system, Admiral Jin arrived with the Council's defensive force, 300 ships, the largest fleet ever assembled. "We'll hold them at Neptune's orbit," Jin told Earth's military leaders. "Keep your forces in reserve to protect the planet itself." The first attacks came quickly. The massive void ships, black against the stars, pushed forward relentlessly. Council vessels darted around them, using human tactics to confuse and divide the enemy. For 3 days, the battle raged across the outer solar system. The Council fleet fought bravely, but there were too many void ships. Slowly, they pushed toward Earth. A massive energy surge from the Void flagship struck the Moon, collapsing part of its surface. The outer planet's orbits destabilized as Void weapons distorted space itself. Admiral Jin's flagship suffered heavy damage. Emergency shuttles evacuated surviving crew to Earth as the ship broke apart. Jin arrived at Earth Command Center as the remaining Council ships retreated to Earth orbit. President Dad was waiting for her. "We've lost the outer system," Jin reported grimly. "They'll reach Earth in hours." President Day nodded. "Then we make our stand here. All shelters are full. All weapons are ready." Around the planet, humans and Council allies prepared for what might be their final battle. The sky darkened as void ships surrounded Earth. Then, in a terrifying display of power, they attacked all at once. Earth had survived the first wave of attacks, but just barely. The planet's shields, reinforced with Council technology, had held against the Void's initial assault. Major cities still stood, though the countryside between them lay scorched and barren. In the underground command center beneath what was once Washington, D.C., General Min studied the battle reports. The room was crowded with military leaders from Earth and the Council. Their faces showed exhaustion after weeks of desperate defense. "We can't keep fighting like this," Min said, pointing to the holographic display showing void ships surrounding Earth. "Each day we lose ground. Each day they learn more about our defenses." High Commander Ren of the Council forces nodded. "Our remaining ships can hold for perhaps another week. No more." Min took a deep breath and placed both hands on the table. "Then we need to change our approach. We can't just defend. We need to take the fight to them." The room erupted in protest. Council strategists spoke over one another. "Attack the Void at its source. Impossible. Our forces are already stretched too thin. We barely survive each day." Min waited for silence before speaking again. "Not a direct assault. Small, fast teams hitting critical targets and retreating. Strike where they don't expect us." In the corner of the room, Physicist Un had been listening quietly. She stepped forward, her simple lab coat standing out among the military uniforms. "I may have found something important," she said, her voice soft but clear. "The void entities aren't natural to our universe." She activated her own display, showing complex energy readings. "These beings enter through what I call dimensional anchors, specific points in space that connect to their home dimension. They need these gateways to maintain their power." The room fell silent as everyone processed this information. "Are you saying we could cut off their connection?" asked Admiral Jin. Ian nodded. "Theoretically, my team has been working with Council scientists to develop a device that could collapse these anchors." "Where is this main gateway?" General Min asked. Ian pulled up a star map. "Here, in what you call the Cygnus sector. It's heavily defended, of course." "A direct assault would be suicide," said Commander Ren. "Then we don't launch a direct assault," Min replied. "We send a small, fast ship while our main forces create a distraction." The plan took shape over the next few days. Council and Earth forces would launch what appeared to be a major attack on void positions near Jupiter. Meanwhile, A single ship would carry Un's device to the dimensional gateway. The chosen vessel was the Defiance, a hybrid craft combining Earth's best stealth technology with Council engines. Its captain would be Suk, a veteran of the first battles against the Void. The mission parameters are clear. Admiral Jin told Captain Suk during the final briefing. Get close enough to deploy the device, then get out before it activates. Suk studied the schematics. How long after deployment until it takes effect? Physicist 1 looked down. Approximately 45 seconds. And the blast radius? At least 300,000 kilometers. The room grew quiet. Everyone understood what that meant. The Defiance could never escape in time. We'll need volunteers, Admiral Jin said finally. Every human in the room stood up. After a moment, many council members stood as well. 3 days later, the Defiance prepared for departure. Its crew of 8 humans and 4 council allies made final checks. Captain Suk moved through the ship, speaking with each crew member. Lieutenant Yoon, the youngest human aboard, was calibrating the navigation systems. Are you afraid? Suk asked quietly. Yoon looked up. Yes, but I volunteered anyway. Why? Because someone has to do it, Yoon replied simply. And I'd rather it be me than someone with children waiting at home. The battle began exactly as planned. Earth and Council forces launched a massive attack near Jupiter, drawing Void ships away from their defensive positions. The Defiance slipped away, using the chaos as cover. For 3 tense days, the small ship navigated through enemy territory. They had several close calls, hiding in asteroid fields and gas clouds as Void patrols passed nearby. Finally, they reached the coordinates of the gateway. Before them swirled a massive dark vortex, pulsing with strange energies. Dimensional anchor confirmed, reported Science Officer Ta. It's even larger than we expected. Captain Suk took in the scene. Dozens of Void ships guarded the gateway. Launch the decoys, Suk ordered. Small drones shot out from the Defiance, creating multiple fake signatures. As the Void ships scattered to investigate, the Defiance made its move. Full power to engines. Suk commanded, get us as close as possible. The ship raced toward the swirling darkness, weapons firing to clear a path. Void energy blasts rocked the Defiance, damaging its systems. We're hit, called out the weapons officer. Shield down to 30%. Keep going, Suk said calmly. Almost there. The gateway loomed before them, its dark energies reaching out like hungry fingers. Prepare the device, Suk ordered. We only get one chance. The Defiance shuddered as another Void energy blast struck its hull. Warning lights flashed across the bridge. The small ship pushed forward, engines straining as it approached the massive dark vortex. Dimensional collapse device ready, Lieutenant Yoon reported, fingers flying across the control panel. We need to get within 10,000 kilometers of the center. Captain Suk nodded, keeping her expression calm despite the chaos around them. All power to forward shields. Ignore the damage to the rear sections. The view screen showed Void ships closing in from all directions. They had realized the Defiance's true purpose. 5,000 kilometers to target, called the navigation officer. Multiple enemies converging on our position. Launch the device, Suk ordered as the ship rocked from another hit. A small probe shot from the Defiance, speeding toward the heart of the swirling gateway. Void ships tried to intercept it but missed. Device successfully deployed, Yoon announced. Activation sequence initiated. Turn us around, Suk commanded. Maximum speed. Everyone on the bridge knew the truth. Even at top speed, they couldn't escape the blast radius in time. Still, they had to try. Dimensional collapse in 30 seconds, reported Yoon as the ship shuddered under Void attacks. The engine room reported critical damage. Power levels dropped. The Defiance slowed. 20 seconds, Yoon continued, voice steady despite everything. Captain Suk looked at her crew, humans and aliens working side by side in their final moments. It has been my honor to serve with all of you. 10 seconds. Sook touched a small photo on her console. Her family back on Earth. For Earth and all life, she whispered. 5 seconds. The view screen showed the gateway beginning to destabilize, dark energies swirling violently. 3, 2, 1. A blinding flash filled all sensors. The Defiance and everything near the gateway disappeared in an explosion that rippled across space-time. Across the galaxy, the effect was immediate. Void ships suddenly lost power. The dark energy beings, cut off from their home dimension, dissipated or fled. The invasion that had seemed unstoppable collapsed in a single moment. In Earth's command center, the monitors showed void ships around the planet going dark. "They're retreating," Admiral Jin said in disbelief. "All of them." General Min stared at the screen showing the Cygnus sector. Where the gateway had been, there was now only empty space. The Defiance's signal was gone. "They succeeded," Min said quietly. "At what cost?" The war ended as suddenly as it had begun. After years of losses, the Council and Earth had achieved victory. But celebrations were tempered by grief for those lost, especially the crew of the Defiance. 1 year later, the rebuilt Council chamber hosted a historic gathering. Representatives from all Council worlds attended, but the focus was on the new member taking her place among them. Ambassador Min stepped forward as High Counselor Terran officially welcomed Earth to the leadership circle. "For thousands of years, this council has guided the galaxy," Terran announced. "Today, we recognize that defeat was certain until humanity intervened. Earth has earned not just membership, but a leading role in our future." The galaxy transformed in the years that followed. Council species began studying human art, philosophy, and innovation. Military tactics incorporated human unpredictability. Scientific progress accelerated as human creativity combined with alien knowledge. On Earth, cities rebuilt with new technology. The skies filled with ships from distant worlds. Children studied alien languages alongside Earth's own. Humanity had taken its place among the stars far sooner than anyone could have imagined. At a memorial built on what was once the Sea of Tranquility on the Moon, now reshaped by the Void attack, Ambassador Min stood with representatives from dozens of worlds. Before them stood a simple monument listing the names of the Defiance crew. "We faced extinction together and survived together," Min said to the gathered crowd. The crew of the Defiance represented the best of all our worlds: courage, sacrifice, and hope. She placed her hand on the smooth stone. "We honor them by building the future they died to protect. Not as humans and aliens, but as a united galaxy." Far beyond the edge of known space, in the darkness between dimensions, the remnants of the Void slowly regrouped. But the universe they would face if they ever returned would be very different, prepared, united, and led by the species that had done the impossible. On a small colony world, a child looked up at her teacher. "Will the Void ever come back?" she asked. The teacher looked at his class. Children from Earth sitting beside young ones from a dozen alien worlds. "Perhaps," he answered honestly. "But if they do, they'll find us ready. Together, there's nothing we cannot overcome." As night fell across the galaxy, ships patrolled the borders of known space. Many carried human captains using strategies no one had imagined before Earth joined the Council. The stars shone brightly on a civilization forever changed by humanity's arrival on the cosmic stage.